Hi and welcome to my random ruminations. It is of course Thursday, and I try and have my longer videos on a Thursday so that people know if they don't want to watch them they can avoid them. And I'm recording this at an ungodly hour. Very ungodly. And the reason I'm recording at this hour is I can't sleep, and the reason I can't sleep is I feel extraordinarily sick again. And this is very directly related to what this video is about. As most of my viewers and readers of my written blog will know, I have two major health problems. First of all, I have a chronic stomach condition, which my last gastroenterologist advised me to simply live my life as if I have extremely severe Crohn's disease, because my medical my symptoms are profoundly bad Crohn's. I have stomach pains, constantly diarrhea, constantly nausea, basically think about the last day you had food poisoning. That's a normal day for me. You don't want to know what a bad day is like. You genuinely don't. The other side of the coin is I have mental health issues. I've made no secret of the fact that I was abused as a child, and this has had a profound effect on my adult life. I suffer from near constant nightmares. I have panic attacks. I have really severe problems going into public spaces. I find it difficult to talk to people. I find it very difficult to interact with strange people, especially strange men, in any kind of setting. There's a handful of men in my life that I have any respect or care for or love for, and they all know who they are because they're the men that I can hug. If I've never hugged you, I'm not comfortable with you. Unless we haven't met in reality, in which case I don't know yet. And that's not an insult to you, if that's the case. It's just a fact of the little kid that's still stuck in me, screaming in a corner of my mind, just finds something about you frightening. It's not your fault. It's not my fault. It just is. But that doesn't entirely work, because what I want to talk about is guilt. When you are chronically ill, when you have profound problems such as mine, for me at least, it comes hand in hand with bucket loads of guilt. I say sorry all the time, and it drives my partner in crime out of her mind. I say sorry when I can't do things. I say sorry when I can't do what I feel is enough. I say sorry when I can't do housework. I say sorry when I do housework and I don't do enough of it or do it well enough. I say sorry for ridiculous things, stupid things, things that I know I shouldn't. But there's a profound guilt that goes for me with being sick. And it extends to everything. I feel guilty over being scared of men. I can't help it. And I've had all the counselling in the world, and I have an amazing therapist. Hey Jamie. And he is an astonishing therapist, and he's done more work with me than anyone I could ever have hoped for. He is a really great therapist, and he's taken me so far from where I was. But even with that huge development in my ability to cope, I still feel guilty, and I still feel scared all the time, and I feel guilty because of it. I feel guilty for being scared. And if you want the real weirdness of this, I feel apologetic to myself for being scared. Wrap your head around that one. Because I'm sick all the time, because I find public spaces and public events so difficult, I can never answer yes or no to going to something or doing something with someone. I always have to say maybe, contingent on how I'm feeling. And that sucks. I have really great friends and I barely see them. The last time I saw my best friend was her housewarming. I genuinely don't remember how long ago it was. That's the last time I saw her. It could be weeks before I see her again. And that's my fault. I'm sick. And I'm not coping well with it at the moment. And the end result is that she's not seeing me. So I feel guilty. This weekend past, I almost had to cancel the first tabletop role-playing game that I've ran in almost a decade. Because, first of all, my stomach has been so sick for the last 6 days, but also because that had worn me down to a degree where my nightmares had gotten much, much worse, and I didn't know if I could cope with being surrounded by people. I did, and the game went really well, mostly. Players know exactly what happened and what I'm talking about. But I still feel guilty for almost having to cancel. The days where I'm not able to work, especially seeing as I'm working really hard to develop a career as an artist, I feel terrible about it. The days that I don't upload a video blog, I feel terrible about it. Because I don't just feel like I've let my viewers down, or my subscribers, or anything else. I actually feel guilty for letting myself down for not doing it. Which is not entirely rational. Actually, I think it's saying it's not entirely rational is a huge understatement. It is incredibly irrational, and yet that's how I feel. And I shouldn't feel like that because I'm tired all the time. I can never ever get enough sleep to make up for the thousands of hours of sleep that I've lost. I do odd things. Well, they would be odd to other people. Like this afternoon, I went into World of Warships, one of my favourite new games, and I purposely got myself killed so I could go on to spectator mode and watch other players playing. So I could watch the rest of my team playing, and as it turns out, winning by a landslide. And eventually I had to switch it off because I realised I wasn't keeping track of what was going on the screen because I was so tired. My dinner today was pasta with salt, as my stomach couldn't cope with it. And I felt bad because I'm quite sure my partner wanted to cook me something nicer. And I sometimes think she feels bad when I eat such plain, such boring, pointless food. But a lot of days it's all I can cope with. I walk my dogs every day, more or less. Today I didn't manage it. I wasn't able to. I just wasn't. So I played fetch with Winter, and I just played with Lulu. And they did get winded and out of breath and the whole lot. So it was a good exercise for them. But I still feel terrible because I didn't get to walk them today. And I'll make up for it tomorrow. I may even try and take Winter for a short walk after I finish recording this. I mean, it's really late, but this is going to be rendering for who knows how long. And I can just take her somewhere and nice slow walk. It's late at night. There'll be nobody around. I can sit on windowsills as I go along and rest and not kill myself doing it. Yeah, the guilt, it's irrational, but it's very, very real. And for me at least, it feeds into something else as well. So if you can imagine, the illnesses feed in and create and magnify and gorge and engorge this feeling of guilt, which then does the same thing to this feeling of always feeling like I'm at fault. I never asked to be sick. I never want to be sick. I don't want to be sick. I want to be able to go back rock climbing. I'm never going to climb again. I know I'm not. My health is never going to allow me to. I know I'm never going to fell run again. I'm never going to go running on the ridge of a mountain chain again. I used to love running the ridge of the McGillicuddy Reeks, which is the major range in Ireland, and I used to love running that ridge. It's parts of it are knife edge, so it's kind of scary and it's exhilarating, and there's a lot of really hard climbs and really precipitous down climbs, and taking that at a run, it's challenging and it's physically difficult, and at the end of it you're sore as hell, you're bruised. In my case, I've usually fallen about 20 times, but it felt amazing to do it, and I'm not going to do that again. I'm hoping in the coming years to do the Liffey descent, which is where people use rafts or canoes or what have you, and descend the Liffey from, I think, somewhere beyond Leixlip all the way down to Dublin City. I'm not entirely sure of the route, but I'd love to do it. I have this idea to do it in a duct tape coracle, because I used to build coracles when I was a teenager. I don't know if I'll ever manage it. And all these things, I don't want to be sick. I don't want to have migraines all the time. I don't want to be tired all the time. I don't want to be constantly planning where I am based around the toilet. I don't want to be cancelling events at the last minute. I didn't ask to be sick, but it feels like it's my fault. I suspect it always will. And I do wonder to a degree how much that is because I can't get a firm diagnosis. I honestly don't know. But I hate it. And part, I think, of what makes me feel like it is my fault is it's invisible. How invisible? Whatever problem is in my bowel, it's in my small intestine. So, weirdly, my diarrhea doesn't smell. At all. You know, the fuck? But it doesn't. And aside from the fact that my stomach is permanently swollen like a balloon, but it's kind of like as firm as a rugby ball, there's no visible sign that I'm ill. And yet I have diarrhea every day. I throw up anything up to 20 times a week. I often lose 1 meal out of 3, sometimes 2. You know, it's invisible because I've learned to be very good at hiding every aspect of it from the whole world. But the fact that it is invisible, the fact that, you know, it's not like I'm missing an arm, I think it sometimes feeds into making me feel like it's my own fault, like maybe there's something in my head creating it, when I know, and I've been told by doctors, I'm not. It's real. It's whatever it is real, and it is a solid thing that exists. So why am I recording this? You probably have someone in your life who has an invisible illness. It might be diabetes, it could be a thyroid problem, it could be ulcerative colitis or Crohn's disease, or it could be arthritis, it could be chronic fatigue syndrome, it could be anything of a laundry list of horrible things the human body can do to their owners. And those people are probably breaking their backs trying to act as if everything is normal when it's not. So if you have a friend who you know has a chronic illness, who has a problem like that, cut them a lot of slack. They don't want to be flaky. They don't want to be unreliable. They don't have a choice. And it's their own body that has it in for them. And just try and think for a few moments what it would feel like if you knew that your own body hadn't just betrayed you for a while, but was betraying you for the rest of your life and was never, ever going to get better. What would you do? I would warrant a lot of people would just curl up in a ball and give up. So yeah, I guess that's what I have to say. The guilt is real. The feeling that it's your own fault is real. And it's wrong to feel, it's wrong that anyone should feel that way over being sick, but the reality is a lot of people do. And I don't really know what there is that could be done about it. I've tried to figure it out over the years, but I never have. All I can say is just, if you have sick friends, cut them a lot of slack. They're not doing things to piss you off. They're doing things because they have no choice. Absolutely no choice. And I miss you, Anya. I hope I'll see you soon. And my other friends that I don't see very often, I miss you too. And I really, really hope to see you soon. But it's all contingent on my health. Anyway, talk to you all again soon. Bye.